What's going on, good people of the internet? It is time once again for Comics Unmasked, the podcast where a bunch of folks shoot the breeze and talk about comic books and such. We are back for episode 19. We are going to hit 20 episodes before the end of the year. It is going to be insane, folks. Don't forget that you can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, your mama's fridge, Amazon, Audible too. I find it really cool that you can mix your audiobooks with your podcasts. It's very interesting that you can do that. iHeartRadio, all those great places. YouTube too. I know we have like our YouTube fans. Make sure we definitely appreciate y'all. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, all those great places as well. Shout out to Jen. She's the one on Instagram and TikTok doing the weekly roundup of what the show is. So make sure that you go give her some love when you check the show out. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. My name is JP. Below me today, because we had to do things a little differently. B-Rex, the man who officially has discovered that Tara Markov is a horrible person. He finally read Judas Contract this week, and his life was changed forever. B, how you feeling?
I woke up this morning with my heart ripped out of my chest as a Beast Boy fan and thrown onto the ground, crushed by a bunch of rocks, and then as just somebody who enjoys Raven from the Teen Titans, F Tara all the way, and just from the identities, from the heartbreak, from the I'm all crazy and I hate everybody, like F her. I don't need her in my life. I was perfectly fine with the Teen Titans making her this sweet little girl, but no, she was not this sweet little girl. She wasn't. She was this primal thing ready to erupt and destroy us all. And that's what
Yeah, the cartoon
that's how I'm
really
going to spend this
gaslit an
today.
entire generation of people about that character.
It's so frustrating too because I was that kid that was like collecting Jeff Johns' Teen Titans at the same time and then going back into the store and getting back issues. So I had read Judas Contract in back issues and was like so excited to talk about it with other people, and everyone's like, "Yay, Tara's so cool!" And I'm like, y'all don't know what this girl has done to y'all. Like she has the wool pulled over
Yeah.
your eyes. It is insane, bro. Astro is not here this week, but we called in some backup. Man is over here with the hottest of takes out here. The randomest, like people that like you'll pull up a video of the Captain America that you talked about this week had me rolling. Mr. Doggo Dude, how you doing, man?
I am chilling. I'm good. Yeah, I'm really excited to debate some stuff. I know we got a hot topic that I seem to be, as usual with my content, the only person on the internet on one side of an argument. But that's fine. I took extensive, thorough notes on my argument. I am ready to debate this one to the death.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into it a little bit. So the hot button topic that has been going on the past like few hours has been the casting of Brainiac in Superman: Man of Tomorrow. I was very caught off guard. I didn't expect this to happen. We now have Lars Ettinger playing the Brainiac, and I'm interested because I'm wondering, are we gonna start with a more humanoid Brainiac, or are we gonna get like full on Superman the Animated Series, just full on android off rip? That's what I'm curious of. And some people were like, no, maybe we'll get absolute Brainiac, and I'm like, no, please God, no, we don't want that, no.
Yeah, I don't think Gunn's gonna go absolute on it for sure.
As much as I want to see it, that's not going to happen.
No. Especially because I mean, it seems like he's kind of leaning into the hope core aspect of Superman, and doing anything absolute. I think it's like the least hopeful universe in comic books, next to maybe like Spawn.
Man, and like what's so funny about that is McFarlane keeps saying we're gonna get a Spawn movie, like Spawn movie is coming, and I'm like, Todd, it's okay. You don't have to do it again. It's okay.
Yeah. Listen, hot take. I love the original. I think
Oh,
it's
I
really
love it.
fun.
It's one of my favorite movies to stand
Yeah.
by. I will fight to the death over the fact that Spawn was revolutionary. Like I was just watching like the Image Revolution documentary on YouTube, and like say what you will about Rob Liefeld, and I can say a lot about Rob Liefeld. The rest of the like Image founders are like legends for what they have accomplished. But like Todd especially has shown us that innovation is possible, that you can break away from the big two and do big things, and more people need to like listen to what Todd has to say, but take the bitterness with a grain of salt and listen to the true words of what Todd has to say.
Yeah. No,
But
Todd's a legend. little bit of an asshole, but I feel like a lot of the legends kind of were assholes. You kind of have to be an asshole in that industry. So
Most definitely. I'm gonna say, B, sooner
Yeah.
or later, you're gonna pop your Spawn cherry, and it's gonna be great. I'm excited.
I'm excited because for one,
oh, you haven't read Spawn?
He's a
no,
red
I
Spawn. He
haven't
ain't
yet.
seen Spawn. He just read
Yep.
Judah's contract for the first time. He's a
Yep.
little new
That's
to
my
this.
Spawn's my number one. That's my favorite comic series of all time. It's
And
so
here's the
good.
thing, at my shop we have like the first Spawn going for like $50 right now, and I'm like,
B, I need you
I
to
might have to
Hey,
pick
hey,
that
B.
up.
All I want for Christmas is Spawn. I need you to
I
hook me up, please.
Luckily, it just got payday, so I'm going in tomorrow. I can pick that up for
Yeah.
you.
Oh man.
As long as it hasn't been taken within the past like 24 hours of us talking about
Oh
it.
man, I like because I'm even working on a collab with whatnot, and I was eyeing a CGC 9.0 newsstand, and I'm like, damn, Todd keeps doing signings. Maybe I should wait and get my own CGC. Like he keeps
Yeah.
doing signings. But in terms of like the stuff like with this, I find the idea of dude getting cast intriguing because I I'm still conflicted about the idea of a buddy film with Lex and Clark. I wanted longer time to to fester the idea of them going up against each other for a few movies. Like maybe like at the very least get Lex in at the final hour out of jail, not oh you're gonna come along for the whole journey kind of style. I don't know how I feel about this dynamic of them intriguing this. But in terms of the casting, everyone says dude's a great actor, so I'm here for it. I think it'll be dope. And Gunn has rarely had bad castings in his movies, so
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by it.
For me, it's one of those things since I don't know anything about this dude and I started looking up the stuff that he's been in, and like a lot of the stuff is stuff I've never seen before. There's a few things that I'm like, I've heard about this movie but still never watched it. And so it feels like it's a breath of fresh air for me because I'm so used to seeing here's the big names, here's this A-list actor, here's this A-list actor. And so to have somebody I don't know very well come in and try to portray a character, it gives me more brevity, I guess, so I can be like, I can give this guy more room to work. I'm not expecting anything from this dude. Give me something that I can actually enjoy from a Brainiac now, you know? Give me something as a blank slate now.
That could
Yeah, I
definitely
mean,
be
Cornsweat
intriguing.
was a relative unknown when he got the role as Superman. I mean, he's been in a couple things, a lot of it like stage plays and stuff, but like, let's be completely for real. Who the hell knew who Cornsweat was prior to the
Yeah.
Superman movie? Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
again, like you said, James Gunn rarely misses with who he picks. So, I mean, yeah, like I did the same thing. Like, I looked into some of his stuff. A lot of it's like German TV, and I watched like a few clips here and there, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna trust Gunn on this one. Like,
Right.
Corn Sweat was great. Everybody he picked for Superman was great. Everybody he picked for the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy was great. Like, the dude doesn't miss. So,
Other than
I
casting
trust.
Sean Gunn in like every single thing, like we can calm down with that. Otherwise, I love
I
his
It's
castings.
it's his brother. I
Look, like,
mean,
if I was ever a producer and like directing movies, I'm totally throwing my sister in. Like, she's going to be in
Right.
every single thing that I do. It's
yeah.
family, you know.
I'm
I
just
get
saying
it.
we
I'll give
needed
it
a
a
better
pass.
Maxwell Lord besides Sean Gunn. Like we've
Oh
hardly
no,
Yeah.
for
seen
sure.
him in things, and it's like you need a rich punk ass dude to play Maxwell Lord. So just to see
Yeah.
Sean doing it, I'm like, damn it, we could have had something better there. Like why? Why like we it still could be great. Like I would love to see a Wonder Woman come down the road and snap his neck later. I'd love that, but I don't know if we're ever gonna get that.
See, but I
Hot
very much
take
feel
here.
like. Go ahead.
No, yeah, hot take here. Sean Gunn is not the one I have a problem with. I hate the way he keeps using was it Michael Rucker? I think is his name.
Yeah.
Because like great actor, phenomenal actor. He keeps putting him in these incredibly goofy roles.
Mm.
Like I'm in my opinion, the worst part of Peacemaker 2 was the Elmer Fudd guy I don't even remember what the character's name
He
was,
was
like the hunter,
Eagle.
Eagle Master or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
something
His
like
character
that.
was dumb, and when he pulled out that giant, comically large Elmer Fudd rifle, I was like, "Come on, this is supposed to be the same universe as Supergirl and Superman and the Green Lanterns, and they got this Elmer Fudd dude hunting Eagly. I was like, come on, Michael Rooker is such an amazing actor. He was so great in the Guardians trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
and then like it just seems like he keeps putting him in these weird roles. Like when they had him be the I forget the character's name, but in the Suicide Squad, the guy that supposedly like can't miss, and then as
He
soon as
ends
they
up
land on the
missing.
beach, he screams, runs into the water, swims away, and blows up. I'm like, come on, use him better. Like, I don't know,
I
it's
still have a
weird.
bone to pick with Gunn about that movie because there were so many characters that he went through the effort of like making sure they got in there. You got Mod Gal, a character that I thought would
Yeah,
never be on screen, and you put her in here only to get wasted. Like, like you brought Jai Courtney back, and you just got rid of him, and I'm like, he was one of the
Yeah.
best parts of the first one.
I
Like
loved
it just.
him in that one. I was so excited. Like, I still love that movie, but it's just one of those things that he did such a good job at averting expectation at the beginning there. Because I was expecting, like, Team A, Team B story. You're going back and forth. We might be getting some kind of, like, weird TV show sitcom thing going on. No, he, and then that was the
yeah,
thing. The Mongrel thing, I was so excited because that was actually a character I knew about from like younger years of looking things up. And I'm like, I know this person. I'm next to my girlfriend telling her about her and everything. And I'm like, we're going to see some. Oh,
what?
never mind.
And she went
Never
out
mind.
so easily too. That's what
Right.
bothered me
Right.
about that.
Exactly. That wouldn't have happened in the comics. I'm just
Cause
saying.
like
Yeah,
Javelin, sure. Like you had like then you had like TDK, that was funny, cool. Like you got like your obligatory like reference of Nathan Fillion there too. But it's just like why Mongal too? And that also like irritates me too because like I still think Nathan Fillion should have just been Hal Jordan. Like he didn't need to be Guy Gardner. I've said that multiple times because he's been Guy Gardner in multiple different animated projects, and he knows how to play a cop very well. So he would have been just the better person to play a retired ass Hal Jordan who's tired of this shit. But now we have to have him
yeah.
in an orange wig for God knows how many years, and it's just like really, really. I don't know.
I'm not gonna let it. He did kill it as Guy Gardner though.
Oh, for sure.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. It's just the end product. Like he steals every scene he's in that movie. It's so
Mm.
good.
He
Like when
does. Even in Peacekeeper 2, like that Justice Gang scene that they have
yeah,
going on, that had me dying laughing. I was just, oh my gosh, excellent.
And like his like back and forth with Hawk Girl is also very iconic because it shows that Gunn is very good. That like the follow up like with the tie back in is Gunn is very good at finding people and helping them create organic chemistry. He doesn't force it. He wants them to interact and have fun. Because even with the Peacemaker behind the scenes and whatnot, you see these people just having fun. Like the conversation about the theme song scene, the people like the vets were like, "Yeah, season 2, let's get it. We're serious." And then some people came in like, "What?" So it's very
yeah.
interesting, and it excites me to see what we're gonna do with Brainiac. But I'm also like, what version of Brainiac are we gonna do here? Because
I
there's
really do
potential
hope we
here.
get a more like just the mechanical. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking that we're gonna get from this one from James Gunn's feeling of stuff. I see him doing much humanizing things with Lex, and so I'm
Mm.
seeing a lot more mechanical stuff coming from this Brainiac. Just judging by the first movie, that's all I'm going off of there.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think it there's a lot of elements of the Superman movie that make me think it's going to be more of the like Justice League animated series version of Brainiac because like he put I guess the interdimensional might in the background with the crazy lights and everything. We
Right.
didn't really get to see much of that, but like the fact that things like that are in the movie with like Guy Gardner and the big axolotl kaiju fight, like he definitely is not afraid to lean into the like campy comic bookness of the Superman world. So I would find it very weird and unlike him to make it a more grounded Brainiac where it's like, oh, it's kind of realistic and it's like hacker stuff and it's like I just don't see any of that. I think it's going to be a very cartoony like the green skin and the purple and the giant floating head
Yeah.
with all the tentacles
Hmm.
like it's going to
Oh, I
be a
can't
cartoon.
wait to see that. Oh, the giant
Yeah.
skull is gonna look
Yeah.
so cool.
Oh, he's putting my money on it now. The giant floating skull with tentacles will be in the movie.
If it's not, I will be disappointed because I could see it. It definitely feels like the kind of thing Gunn would do. I definitely agree with you about that.
Yeah.
In like then from there, the people getting mad about the DC KO fights is insane.
Mm.
The back and forth we've seen, I will say, the Wonder Woman issue, the Wonder Woman versus Lobo issue, I would definitely will say, I was surprised by. I know we were gonna talk about it last week and we just didn't get to it in time, but genuinely Diana got robbed, but she still won? Question mark. It was very odd the way they were just like, hey, she definitely is gonna beat gonna beat him, but we're gonna make it weird and talk about the whole he can't die thing a lot. And I'm like,
Right.
Diana would beat the brakes off this man's. Why does she need to call the Wonder Girl squad? Like, I'm a diehard Cassie Sandsmark fan. I will defend her till the cows come home. But her and Yara and Donna didn't need to be here. Diana could have just beat the brakes off of Lobo and called it a day.
All right. So I might get some wrath here
Okay.
from maybe some viewers. And I hate to sound like a power scaler here because I hate power scalers. But correct me if I'm wrong. Lobo has gone toe to toe with Kryptonians,
I believe so,
with
yeah.
Superman, with Supergirl. I love Wonder Woman to death. She's top 5, one of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on the story you're reading and what tools she has available to her, she has put Superman in his place a couple times.
Right.
She's a very good fighter. But when you're fighting a guy who is so deranged he basically doesn't feel pain, can't die, and can punch Superman across space, I don't know that he would lose to Wonder Woman, in my opinion, without a little bit of backup or without some magical items of some kind. Like, if we're talking just fisticuffs, Wonder Woman versus Lobo, again, Lobo's a Superman level threat. And Wonder Woman, again, in a couple occasions, because there's that famous, I think it was in Injustice or one of them, where she like gouges his eyes and like chokes him out and like all this stuff. And it's great that she's a much better fighter than a lot of these big Kryptonian level threats. But again, Lobo is that special level of crazy that like he can take a spear right through the chest and laugh it off. Like he doesn't really process pain the way normal people do because he's so crazy that like I don't want to like tick off Wonder Woman fans. I love Wonder Woman to death. I feel like Lobo takes that fight easily. And so if they didn't give her that help, I think what it would have done is it would have given the power scalers a little bit more ammo to be like, hey, this was fan service in a way because they're just trying to give the win to Diana. But like by giving her the little bit of backup, it sort of takes that argument away where it's like, no, because with the help, I don't think there's as much of a question if she could win that fight. But solo, I don't know. I'm not seeing it.
I can respect that for one. The one thing that kills me though is to where there could have been a dynamic put in place with Diana's storytelling through this because it's very much of one guy who goes against his god versus somebody who praises her gods,
Right.
and gives actual like I don't want to say praise exactly, but she gives honor to her gods. There we go, in that kind of manner. She always tries to honor them. And so that kind of dynamic I felt like was very left off to the side for that, for very much of just like, here's a bunch of punching, here's a bunch of kicking, and here's Lobo kicking Wonder Woman, here's Wonder Woman kicking Lobo. I don't mind that. As a comic book reader, I love that. But you can't let the storytelling go off to the side like that. It kind of just felt like it wasn't deserved for Wonder Woman to win this because there was no overarching plot for
Right.
any of that versus
Yeah.
Superman comic book. I felt like there was a dynamic there to where I saw two people going against each other, two ideologies trying to clash and stuff like that. That's kind of something similar I was expecting here. Two ideologies trying to clash when it comes down to theology maybe or something along those lines, but that's where the wayside kind of lacked for me when it came down to the Wonder Woman.
So I believe it was right before the wedding during Tom King's run. He wrote this
Ugh.
really good story where it was Bruce and Diana trapped in a different dimension for like years. It was like decades almost. It was really weird. And they're just slugging it out with these warriors for like years. And
Mhm.
it showed that Diana has the endurance to put up with a Lobo Deadpool can't die-esque character. And that was the book that showed me that, and the New 52 Justice League run where they're going up against Darkseid at the final hour, and like the Anti-Monitor shows up and they rewrite the Anti-Monitor's origin and stuff. Those are the two different events that showed me that like Diana's probably gonna win a fight with almost anybody, especially when it comes to when she has the gods backing her. I feel as if putting like because there were some people on online that were saying, oh, putting the girls in here like kind of gave her the backup she didn't need, especially when she had the eagle armor. I was like, nah, you don't need them here. This could have been like fisticuffs down at the wire and then give her the win at the final hour. We didn't need
Yeah.
to have her like them there. It could have been just slugfest, and then at the last moment then you have the god go, all right, cool, I'm done. Because both of them would have just been beaten bloody. And then maybe that last time that Lobo's picking himself back up, trying to shove an arm back in place, like they snap the finger, and then Diana goes, all right, cool, slice, and just done. I think that would have been a better way to go about it because she can take those high level threats. But I do agree that Lobo can do some damage. I feel like Diana still would have came out on top if it was a little bit better written. I feel like Joshua Williamson is getting burnt out as the run is going on, and he's having more fun in certain areas than others, like the Superman Captain Atom stuff or the primetime stuff, which I'm not really excited about the primetime stuff. But like like the rest of it, but then like I don't think he's well acquainted enough with Wonder Woman for that book to have been as strong as it is. But then you look at the Zatanna Hartley book, and you're just like, oh, so you do know what you're talking about to a certain extent. And then you read the Hawkman and Aquaman fight, and Aquaman just rains on Carter Hall, and you're like,
That was such an unfair matchup. That was
yes.
such an unfair matchup.
Especially because like Aquaman just got a power up in his book, so he was gonna win regardless.
The thing is, even without the power up, I've been saying this for years. Family Guy has done irreparable damage and slander to that character.
Yes.
I'm serious, because Aquaman for like this is not a new thing. For a very long time, he is a menace. He is a threat.
Yeah.
He is very powerful, very strong, very smart, very good fighter, tons of magical equipment, tons of combat experience. Like he's a Wonder Woman level hero, but I feel like the general public views him as this joke that like Batman could take on in a fist fight. But like he can throw like tankers like they're nothing.
Yeah.
Like he is a menace, and he can control the seas depending on what weapon he has at the time. He can just throw a monsoon at you, and to put him up against a guy who, I'm sorry, his ability is that he has wings and a mace. That was just not a fair fight. It was such an insanely imbalanced fight. Like, yeah.
That was one of the things too, is to where like people were giving comparisons to like the Harley Quinn and Zatanna, and they were like, Zatanna should have just done what Aquaman did and just stomped on Harley and everything like that, which to a premise, I completely agree to that. Zatanna is a very powerful person when it comes down to it, but you also got to bring morality into this because Zatanna is not just going to beat someone to beat somebody, even though she understands the competition. She's very much a ideological person, kind of like Superman.
Yeah.
You know? And so I love the premise to that, but like some of the shots too for that Aquaman and Hawkeye. Oh my gosh, Hawkman.
He's not a Hawkeye.
I just called him out.
I mean, come on, who cares about Hawkman?
And there are some diehard Hawks fans, man. I tell you what.
All three of them, all three Hawkman fans out there. I'm sorry, but like,
even his lore is so insane as it is.
Way cooler. Hawkgirl is the cooler character.
It's just been so good in this series, though. Like, every panel that I'm getting on this one, it just feels like I want to put it up on my wall. They've just done an excellent job with a lot of these KO scenes and everything, and just like every scene that I get with the like KO in the background, perfectly done. Excellent stuff. There's just so much detail that's put into them that I'm like, I need this as every screensaver on every monitor that I can have in my house now. If there's a screen on my washing machine, it has to be DCKO related somehow.
My brain always plugs in the from Scott Pilgrim whenever he beats one of the X's, and it's like, hey, oh.
Yeah.
My brain makes that noise every single time I read the panel.
It's so
Yeah.
good. And like the one that really made me happy this week was the Titans one, which I'm still kind of mad that like Cyborg and Swamp Thing didn't get their own like separate one shot. It had to be in the Titans book, but at the very least, like like Vic went in. Vic went
Mm-hmm.
balls to the wall, ready to pound, and I, who was the I gotta pull up the artist real quick. I forget who it was. Because like it like because genuinely Woods probably be like the last page. But there's this giant splash page when they do the whole choose your
With all the
form of
cyborgs.
you want to do. And the different
Yeah.
cyborgs. You have Siberian from the Titans
The
90s
cartoon
series,
characters there.
the cartoon version.
Yep.
Lee Thompson Young is there, and I'm like, the deep cuts you're doing in these references. That's why I kind of love this current DCU generation where you have like everything's canon. We don't care anymore. Everything's canon. I'm like, I love this. Like ever since
Yeah.
Infinite Frontier, this idea that everything's canon, it makes it so easy for us just to have fun and be like, hey, you want to read something? Here you go. Everything's canon, except for like 5, 6 things. Everything's canon. Like, don't worry about it. Have fun. I love this generation
Yeah.
of DC.
I
Honestly,
will
I feel
say,
like
I know a lot of people listen. Again, kind of like the Wonder Woman thing. I will fully admit I am not super well versed on the history of Cyborg, but I do know a lot about the history of Swamp Thing, and
Mm.
I feel like he should have easily taken that fight. Like
Uh,
prime top power. Because again, if they can pick from any version of the multiverse, they can pick from any version of Swamp Thing. There's a version of Swamp Thing that can basically control the planet. Like
yeah.
Swamp Thing is literally the avatar of nature. I don't see how Robot Man wins that fight. Now again though, that final form that he chose, the like giant mecha version of himself,
Mm.
I'm not familiar with that. Maybe it's more powerful than I'm aware of, but to me, like my knowledge of Swamp Thing should have been able to easily crush Cyborg like it was nothing.
Maybe,
so.
but
So
I
I
will
I
just
was a
say
little
though,
bummed.
I
Reg. Go.
I do appreciate the moment where like Swamp Thing's kind of like, you know what, just promise me you're gonna put this down. Promise me you're gonna make it happen. I was like, respect. You fought. I like the fights here where it's like they're meeting on equal footing. I like that better. The idea that there's a respect level there. I like that dynamic a little bit
Yeah.
better.
And so one
Harley
thing
and Zatanna kind of had a moment like that too, didn't they?
Yeah.
exactly, yep. And that was one of the things that like I loved about this because a lot of the current Harley stuff that I've ever read nowadays, it's either evolving like some breakup stuff that's going on with the Joker or like
Or
they're not
farting.
yep, or her farting, or like they're not pushing her character to what it could possibly actually be, you know? And one of the things was so nice to see is her being a therapist, her being a superhero therapist during this issue, because that's something that I feel like would be great for Harley Quinn's story arcs right now. She can go along and like maybe give some Batman some therapy and move his
Oh,
relationship on with the Joker a little bit, you know? Like
wouldn't it be nice?
something, you know? And be like, hey, Batsy, me and the Joker, we didn't work out, but you and him, though, y'all should kiss, you know, something along those lines. Like, Harley is funny like that. There's things that you could do with her to make her so good. And that's what was so great about this comic is that it wasn't just Harley Quinn being Harley, it was her being like, hey, Zatanna, you are better than me in every way. So let's make sure we hone the skills while you and I are still here together, you know? It's like, that's amazing stuff. That's amazing writing for Harley.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, because I definitely I'm in the camp of I was very worried when they announced that matchup because personally I think if we've got pretty much the entirety of the DCU competing in this tournament and for Harley to still be around this late into it, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna fan service her all the way to like the final match and have her fighting Superman or something dumb like that. And so when I read this issue, because I haven't read all the DCKO fights for a lot of them. I've just been kind of checking out the snippets, kind of like the fight itself and then the finish. But I actually did read this one because I was like holding my breath, like, oh my god, please don't do this. And they didn't. They didn't. I agree with you. I like that they made this more of a character driven thing in a story that is mostly person A punches person B. They kind of took a moment to slow that down and go, well, this fight doesn't make sense. And we're
Mm.
aware that this fight doesn't make sense. So let's make it make sense by make it more of like a character thing and make it more of like Harley's kind of she's contributing to the final fight in her own way because
Yeah.
she knows. I mean, it was very evident that like even as a character, she knew like what am I gonna do against Darkseid? I have a fucking what am I gonna do? But like she knew that she could play her role and get Zatanna to be the baddest version of herself. So
Hmm.
I thought it was very well written. I think it was some of the best writing I've seen from DCKO so far,
And
personally.
the artwork is so damn good. Like, shout out to Mark
Oh yeah.
Andolfo. The artwork was phenomenal in this issue. Like, I love it so. I love this version of Harley so much. Like, it's so adorable. It feels like people are finding newer ways to showcase her. It doesn't feel like she's constantly just shown in such a basic way. I love that we're finding new, different, dynamic ways to show her beyond just like one stock look. I enjoy that they're trying new, different things with her costuming.
Yeah, for sure.
And just the
Amen on
Zatanna,
that.
the Zatanna shot of her being like, "Who's next?" I'm like, "Yeah, just burn it
Mhm.
down, girl. That's gonna be so good."
I will say one thing that this issue had me kind of concerned about is that I feel like when you juxtapose this with the Cyborg versus Swamp Thing fight,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's almost like they're sort of teasing the fans by giving you these little like Swamp Thing being like, hey, you need to be the best version of yourself and bring this fire against Darkseid, kind of implying that like, oh, are they gonna have him be the one who beats Darkseid? But then you get to the Harley Quinn Zatanna issue and it's like, oh, they're hyping up Zatanna. Wait, is she gonna be the one? But then like with
Mm.
Wonder Woman, it's like they're having her be her like truest warrior stuff. It's like, so wait, it's like who are they gonna have be the one to beat Darkseid at this point? Because they're setting the fans up of all these different characters to be incredibly disappointed of
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, they hyped Victor up to be like the savior, and then he's gonna get dogged in the next round or something.
I think
So
that's gonna be the biggest thing for what most people are gonna come to the realization at this point, because there's only gonna be one winner out of this, and I guarantee it's not gonna be the one that most people think it's going to be.
I
And
already know who it's gonna be. Like just based off
yeah,
what
yeah,
we've
yeah,
seen
Annabelle.
from the solicits, it's gonna be Clark because if you look at the March solicitations, there's like this whole thing of like, oh, Superman's gone. We need a new Superman, and my mortal enemy is becoming Superman, and I'm not okay with it. I just like Williamson, Josh, like holla at me. Like I like if you ever listen to this, please let me know. I don't hate you. I love your writing. I love what you do. But Snyder gave Prime Time an ending. I didn't even want him to get an ending. I wanted him to get obliterated and never talked about again. But we gave him an ending in Death Metal. Why did you bring him back? Like, you even say in the issue, like, oh, I was unfulfilled. I wanted a new journey and yada yada. I'm like, I didn't need this, damn it. And it's just like, Prime Time, go away. I don't need him here. And like, there's just this weird thing going on. I look on Twitter and I see like there's this like loyal fan base behind Prime Time. They want him to like find redemption and whatnot. He got redemption in Death Metal. We don't need this. Fucking hate Prime
Yeah.
Time.
I
Look,
I
I'm rooting for Annabelle. I think Annabelle's gonna be the one to make it all the way to the end and beat Darkseid.
That would
honestly,
be
I'm ready
wild.
for the little bear from
Or
that.
Sabrina.
Beneath the trees. Oh my god,
Yeah, Beneath the
yes.
Trees. That's the
Yeah.
one I'm ready for. I saw the Joker and like cover with him and the bear, and I'm like, yes, that's the one I need right there.
Well, like here's what's wild about that. Midtown Comics posted a page like an alternate cover for the upcoming like boss fight like training thing they're doing, and I saw it. There's some new fighters coming to the pile if you didn't notice.
Hmm.
Like if like because like like they posted it earlier this week. Um, Scorpion's joining the fight.
Yep.
I was intrigued by that. Sabrina the Teenage Witch is joining the fight. And
Listen, Sabrina's a powerhouse. People
yeah.
don't people who only watched either version of the TV show and didn't actually read any of the comics don't understand that she can literally summon like the infernal flames of hell.
Oh
Like she
yeah.
is an Infernal Witch. She is very, very powerful. I actually want to see her go up against Zatanna. I think that would be a wild fight.
I would love that so
Yeah.
much. Like this cover looks badass. I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Red
have to.
Sonja's in there.
I think Jeff Spokes
Yeah.
did the art for this. Oh, it looks so good.
So real
Yeah.
quickly, we got Annabelle, Homelander, Red Sonja, Sabrina, Samantha, the Strong, that's the little bear. We got Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Vampirella. They brought everybody into this, it feels like.
I just
Honestly,
like
Scorpion I kind of saw coming
mm.
because if you're gonna have Sub-Zero and you don't include Scorpion, you're just trolling Mortal Kombat fans at that point. Like those two, whatever you have one, you gotta have the other.
Oh,
That's
for
just
sure.
how it works at this point.
Honestly, I would
ugh.
either love to see a Joker Lex Luthor team up against Sub-Zero and Scorpion, or get like a Superman and Wonder Woman. That would be a
Well,
really
no,
fun
see,
matchup
what you need to do is scroll up on Midtown's feed from the 20th, from yesterday. They posted another cover for the upcoming boss battle shoot. It's the bear from beneath the trees with Joker, and it's the cutest fucking thing you've ever seen in your life. And I'm like,
Yes.
the idea that these two maniacal weirdos are gonna go up against each other has me excited.
I am so thrilled for that. That is what got
Weird
me
off.
hyped for
Yes.
this, is just seeing the bear and the Joker. Just the Joker holding the needle into, or sorry, the bear holding the needle into Joker's neck, and then the Joker with his little gas bomb right there. I was like, ooh, what's gonna happen in this? I have no idea, but I am excited. It looks like a bunch of chemical explosions and just mixtures of stuff that are gonna be going on, and like big brain of like, how can I make this person go crazy with toxin? That's what I'm ready for.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I need like they're teasing that Homelander is gonna have a chance in this fight. They're teasing it, and I just need one page. Like the whole the whole boss battle thing is like multiple issues short. It's like one issue. Ooh, like it's gonna be one issue, but genuinely, it needs to be Clark pops in, beats the brakes off of him with one punch and walks out. Because I'm tired of these power scalers thinking that Homelander has a breath. Like, it's going to be like 2 shots and it's gonna be done. Especially with these like yellow sun gauntlets he's packing. Oh no, it's over. Call it off. Like,
it's a spread, and like one half of the page, it's Superman comes in, laser eyes, ice breath, and then comes in with an uppercut punch, and then the next page is just him closing the door. That's all it is.
Oh, I can't. I hope so, bro. Because this will because they're gonna be like, oh well, it's his company. Of course he's gonna win. It's gonna be like, no, everybody knows Homelander wouldn't stand a chance. Just know that it's okay.
It would be genuinely bad writing if he even hurts Superman.
Oh.
I mean, again, you want to talk power scaling? It's just even in his own verse, like Homelander is definitely powerful, but like not world-shatteringly powerful. And Clark, even without the yellow sun gauntlets, can push the Earth out of orbit if he wanted to. Like it should literally be one of those scenes of like an older brother holding on to like the forehead while he swings like this.
What I would do for a variant cover of that. Oh god. I would kill for that.
What does Marvel do with their like blank covers? I need DC to do that, and then I need to find an artist to be able to do that for me. Please, DC.
Yeah. It'd be very funny.
Oh, I need it now. Okay. So it's time for the topic of the day, folks. The thing that was a buzz across the entire internet the past like week. Not only did apparently we get a teaser on a monitor showing us clips from the upcoming Spider-Man movie, which I'm not really gonna acknowledge that whole movie is a bucket of insanity that I don't really want to deal with. 1 minute Sadie Sink is Mary Jane, the next minute she's a villain, then Punisher somehow here, and it's just like, what's going on? The main topic was apparently in French theaters, they started to release teaser trailers for the upcoming Avengers movie. Apparently, there's going to be one for Cap, one for Thor, and one for I think it's Iron Man, but like it's just Doom, and I'm just like, no, like the minute I saw Steve Rogers' face, I just went, this is a mistake. This is a mistake, and like like Doggo, you were the one that was like, oh, come on, guys, this could be great. And I'm like, no.
Listen, to your credit, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one because I have not seen anyone, and I'm not saying they don't exist. I just have not come across any videos of people hyping this up or even admitting that it's a good thing. Everyone is in your camp where they're saying it's a terrible thing. It undercuts Sam Wilson, and it's
which is so wild too, because like there were so many people on Twitter that were like there was a lot of racist people like doing it. I feel like you're the only you were one of the only people that I saw that was actually trying to approach this from a neutral, non-toxic stance and trying to be like, hey, this could be a good thing. Hey, he could boost up Sammy and whatnot. Like you were the one that actually wanted. So I wanted to like give you the floor on this and be like, hey, tell people that there could be hope for this in a dour time.
So I'll start with kind of just almost a recap of what I said in my video, and then we can go toe for toe, on some points and stuff. But basically, my biggest thing is that everybody's saying that Steve's presence will undercut Sam because Sam hasn't really had a chance to be Captain America yet. But the thing is that Steve simply being there doesn't mean that Sam's not going to be Captain America. In fact, I think they're going to go the same route that has been done in the comics a few times, where there's going to be some big epic moment. There's going to be, the Avengers are all, scattered and the big epic fight. And right there in the front lines, despite having no powers, is Sam Wilson, Captain America, giving the orders, rallying everyone, this, that, and the other. And then I think there's going to be a moment, this is just my prediction. I think there's going to be a moment at the end of the movie where they shake hands or they give one final hug or whatever. And he looks at Sam and says something along the lines of, if you ever had any doubt that this is why I chose you, just pay attention to what just happened. You were Captain America. You are Captain America. And if anything, to the point that a lot of people are making that Sam hasn't had a chance to be fully fleshed out yet, this might be the final piece in the puzzle. This is the end of this is that story getting its full conclusion. That in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we had Sam, the reluctant Captain America, and then in Captain America: New World Order, we had him stepping into the role, but still kind of figuring out his footing. And then in Doomsday, we have him finally becoming the fully realized leader of the Avengers and being recognized by the previous Captain America. If anything, that affirms to all the people that doubted, oh, Sam's not Captain America. Well, if Captain America himself comes back from the past to say, hey, shut the fuck up, this is Captain America, pay attention, who was there on the front line fighting Doom? Wasn't me. I was back there, unconscious while he was on the front line fighting for you guys. And so I trust the Russos well enough because they've done so well. And they're the ones that kind of got this journey for Sam started in Endgame when the shield was passed on. So I find it a little hard to believe that they would set that story up, that they would start that path, only to then at the last possible moment go, we really like Chris Evans though. So I just don't see that.
There are I want to believe your pitch because your pitch sounds so dope in a perfect world. It feels like such a vacuum situation. Right, yeah. Like, it sounds so dope, especially when you read the current Avengers run where you see Sam. Like, you could, because, there are some powerhouses on the current Avengers team where you have, T'Challa, you have Storm, you have, you have Iron Man, you have all these people around Sam. And then there's Sam, the one without powers, doing the most stuff, like in a spacesuit trying to fight everything that's going on. Like, he's been there through vampires, through space threats, all this current stuff going on the run, and it's been so cool to see. But there's so much optically wrong going on with it, where it's just like, A, you turn his entire movie into a Hulk sequel. You didn't give him you didn't bring in the AmeriCops, you didn't bring in the Serpent Society, you didn't make him Cap Wolf, you didn't do anything from the Nomad run, anything. There's nothing that they did to show Sam as Captain America. You had Sam be the focal point in a Hulk story, and it's very frustrating when you watch that.
To that point though, Captain America 3 was an Iron Man story. Captain America 3 was Civil War. So even the original Captain America got kind of shortchanged in his trilogy because that
True.
third movie, although Bucky and Steve are a major driving point, one of the biggest heart tugs, emotional through lines of Captain America 3 is Tony Stark dealing with the death of his parents, dealing
Right.
with the death of his mother, and culminating in him going full ape shit mode on Cap and Bucky because he found out how his mother died. And
True.
half the movie is him trying to get around General Ross. Like, I obviously I can't prove this, but I would bet that he has just as much, if not more, screen time and more plot points than Steve does in his own movie. So the main Captain America getting
Okay.
shortchanged in their own film is not even an unheard of thing in the MCU.
True.
Not saying it was right because I do agree with you.
Mm.
I think the Red Hulk thing I do think takes a lot away from the movie, especially because um, honestly I feel like that movie was just a mess from beginning to end.
For sure.
Because I even when I was like watching it in theaters, I leaned over to my wife and I was like, "Man, this movie wants to be the Winter Soldier so bad," because
Mm.
most of the movie is just copying plot points from the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But imagine at the end of Winter Soldier, Hulk showed up. That's that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will concede on that. That movie did not do Sam justice,
Most definitely,
which
and
is
like
why.
especially when you find out that like Seth Rollins was supposed to be part of the Serpent Society, and Diamondback like his Diamondback was one of the Happy Meal toys, and she wasn't in the movie for some reason. But they made sure Giancarlo Esposito was there because they paid money for him. They're gonna make sure he's there for 5 seconds. But like you see the opening scene and the fight with Giancarlo, and you see there's a movie here. There's something we could have done and not even had to recast General Ross as Harrison Ford and not even have to worry about that. We didn't need Red Hulk there. Then you factor in that, and then you look at the current landscape of what Sam has dealt with in the comic books. Because you look at the whole, we had Rick Remender make him Captain America. You had the issues that Sam dealt with where he had his own Avengers team, and then they all got mind control because of Axis. Axis was a mess. Then you had Secret Wars happen and re-nuke the whole universe. But then he's Captain America again for a few issues. Steve is like agent of Shield, like he's the head of Shield again, like how he was when Bucky was Captain America. But then randomly, because of events with the girl Cosmic Cube, Steve gets put back to full health. He's not old anymore, and he
Yeah,
becomes Captain America himself, but a different Shield. But he's Hydra Cap, and now there's these two like parallel stories of these two, and then right when Hydra Cap takes over the Earth, Sam gets demoted. Right then he quits, but then comes back and fights him. But then, everybody's mad at us, so we're gonna say there's two Steves now. And real true Steve fights Hydra Cap, not Sam. And then we just move on, and Sam goes back to being the Falcon for like 3 years, and Steve is the main Captain America. And then, movie's coming out. Okay, cool. We'll put Sam back as Captain America. And it's just like, y'all did my man dirty. And now and it feels as if now where right when Captain America Brave New World came out, he got a 6-issue mini written by Evan Narcisse that was actually very good. But then Red Hulk had an ongoing for the past 8 months. And now Chip Zdarsky's writing a Steve book. And it feels as if no one really cares about Sam, but only when it matters, everyone's like, so, like they're undercutting Sam. Y'all didn't care enough about Sam to watch the movie in the first place. So it's very odd to see what's going on where between this, the Blade issues that have been going on at Marvel, they're trying to get Black Panther 3 off the ground, but that's having issues. Plus, when you look at the whole Shang-Chi's been backlined until the Doomsday. Where the fuck is Brie Larson? Like it just feels as if the things they saw as misses, despite them actually being critically accepted very well, they're just like, we're not gonna think about the fact there was a pandemic. We're just gonna think those were failures and not really care about them moving forward. And I'm just like, y'all have some problems to address here, and it's concerning that you're possibly undercutting the main leader of your Avengers here.
One
yeah.
of the big
So
things that came up about this is to where I feel like Marvel did not have faith in the planning on what they were doing. They were very much, as soon as they saw a heel turn of like, oh, the audience doesn't see this as the next end game, we've got to change everything up and start scrambling. They should have stuck to their guns at first, because the first two things that came out after Endgame was like WandaVision, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then there was something else that came out nearing that time, and all three of those I felt like were WandaVision. No,
Loki.
not
Oh,
WandaVision.
Loki, yeah.
Loki. There we
Loki.
go.
Yeah.
And all of those felt like banger after banger after banger for me.
Mhm.
There was something within those plot lines that could push everything forward for the movies, you know? And because they decided to blow everything up, it feels like, they did not want to give justice to these characters that they were setting up. Like, I'm still waiting for even a White Vision to start showing up into the series. I'm excited to know what's going on
Well, that
with
is coming next
Wanda,
year.
with everything. I know, and that's the
Yeah,
thing,
Vision
is
Quest
they're
is
like,
coming
they are
out. That just
setting
got
up.
delayed because of the
Mhm.
pandemic and rewrites
Exactly,
and
but
stuff.
that's the whole thing,
Yeah.
though, is that they've delayed all this stuff. They've put so much things off to the back burner now that it feels like the stuff that I would have been vocally excited for, it's even pushed back even further now, like the Blade stuff he was talking about, because I got teasers for that at the end of
Eternals,
Eternals.
yeah.
Yeah, and that was during 2020, 2019, somewhere around there. And
I still
long
defend
movie.
Eternals. Eternals was a banger. It's just everybody just did not want to get on board with that many characters. I still say
Yep.
Eternals was a banger.
I loved the movie. For me, as
It
somebody
was a
who
movie
loves
that
to
happened. I
ingest
will
it,
agree with that.
I sat there and I loved it. The only thing that I thought was weird is, why does Seth Rogen have to stick his grubby little fingers into everything sometimes?
It also was really weird that there's a Superman reference in that movie, which means that the Superman comics are canon to the MCU, which is
Yep.
a weird little nod. I don't even know how they legally got away with that, but there is one thing that I would like to point out
Okay.
to kind of address everything you just said, is that we also do need to remember that Avengers Doomsday was not supposed to be the next Avengers movie. There
Very
was a
true.
whole nother movie in the middle, and then Jonathan Majors went and allegedly assaulted someone, and they had to basically scrap an entire plot line, and Doom got pushed forward. So I actually, tinfoil hat here, I obviously have no proof of this whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Steve Rogers was supposed to be in Doomsday. I think Steve Rogers was supposed to be in whatever that middle Avengers movie was, because Kang's story deals a lot with time travel because of the TVA and all of that stuff. And Steve is not dead, he's just in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're fighting an enemy that exists on all timelines at all times, he would be giving Steve trouble in the past. Steve would have to address that, realize, like, oh shit, I'm an Avenger back in the 50s. I can't fight this guy, reunite with his future buddies, and it would have been a whole thing. But they probably had Chris Evans contractually locked into one more movie, because let's also not forget, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. were done with the MCU.
Yeah.
That paycheck must have been really big to lock them into one more movie. And again, tinfoil hat, fully aware that this is a conspiracy theory. I think Steve, basically, they were like, well, shit, we have to use you in the next Avengers movie. That's what your contract says. It just happens to be Doomsday now. So I think he's kind of being shoehorned into this movie, because they have to do that now. Because I think part of the plot from the Kang movie is being converged into the Doomsday movie. So honestly, truthfully, I think this Doomsday movie is going to be the hottest mess the MCU has ever
Oh,
produced.
for sure. Most definitely.
Yeah.
It's
Which is even more
unfortunate.
reason why I don't think he's going to undercut Sam, because I think his plot line is being jammed into the movie, and he's going to be a because here's the other thing, and I actually had written this down. I want to get this out. Based on the trailer or the teaser that we got, we don't even know that Steve interacts with the future characters. We just know that he's in the movie. His entire involvement in the movie could take place in the 40s. Maybe like he left a message for them, like he discovered the plot back in the 50s and was like, well shit, I'm 50 years too early. I can't do anything to stop this, but I can leave notes, I can leave a
Is
trail,
your
I can leave a
name Marty McFly?
something like that. Yeah, yeah. And so what's gonna
I would
happen is,
actually respect that. I would respect
yeah,
that for some Marvel's like shenanigan like that.
I can see that.
and
Okay.
that seems goofy enough that it could work, that like the Captain America of the future, Sam Wilson, is getting advice or clues from Steve of the past, but we don't actually even know that Steve's gonna be in the future fighting with them. Like,
That's true.
I mean, most likely he probably will. Let's be real, but I just think we're jumping to conclusions based on a trailer where we saw him ride a motorcycle, pull his costume out of a drawer and hold a baby, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's it." In fact, if anything, I think his involvement in the movie is just to set up whatever that baby is. That baby is
Yeah.
probably going to be a very important plot point in the movie, and so what bit of Steve we get is just him raising that child, and then that child ends up being an important character
We have
in the
too many
future.
MacGuffin babies. We already have Franklin. We'll have another one. We have
That's
too
what I
many
was gonna
MacGuffin
say.
babies.
We got another MacGuffin baby out of the Fantastic Four, and
Hey.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna have Wanda's kids shoved in there as some MacGuffin.
Well, because
children as well
apparently
at some
there's this
point.
whole thing where we have Speed and Wiccan. We have the trailings of Young Avengers here because we have Ms. Marvel, we have Kate, we have Wiccan and Speed. We don't know if we're getting Hulkling. Patriot got sidelined, and I'm still mad about that shit. Where's Patriot? Damn it! Like you introduced him in Falcon the Winter Soldier, and then you don't put him here. It doesn't make any sense, and I'm just like, what are we doing? The one thing I will say, the Thor trailer, I saw that, and I was a little intrigued because he has a new helmet. And I like that. I like that he has a new helmet. I prefer Thor with helmet. I don't care what people like. Oh, we want to see Chris Hemsworth's face. Oh my god, no! Give him a helmet.
We've
Damn
had
it.
the movies for that. We've had the movies for that. Let's get more comic accurate Thor
Yes,
helmets.
very much so.
I need that. I'll get
Yeah.
one on my shelf now.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have one in Thor 1, the Thor 3 one was kind of cool. I liked what you did there, but the one I saw, I was like, ooh. That's giving Jason Aaron Thor. I like that. Let's do that. And then apparently his daughter might be kidnapped. I'm like, ooh, like not his daughter, like the Gore's daughter. But it's like the hint of that is
His
very
adopted
interesting.
daughter
Yeah.
counts.
What apparently it's
Adoption
yeah.
counts.
It's very interesting to see what that could be, and like maybe like the plot of like involves like just a collection of children. Like Doom is taking children. I'm like, that could be an interesting idea. I mean, Gore kind of did that, but sure. So I'm interested to see what could be being done. There's something to be very prophetic that I said a while back when Nick Spencer was writing the original Sam Wilson Captain America run. There was something very prophetic about how he did hashtag not by Captain America back then. I think it was like 2016. And then the day Endgame came out, I'm crying at the theater, and I get home, and I see hashtag not my Captain America on Twitter. And there's something to be said about that, where I'm just like, man straight up predicted the future because racism. And the amount of people that were coming out of the woodwork again, trying to say, yes, this is our moment. Yes, Steve's coming back. Get the fake Cap out of here, yada, yada. It bothers me so much because you see the issues with the Blade movie. You see Wonder Man not getting any promotion from Marvel. You see how Ironheart got did. And it's just like there was even a rumor floating around that because of the bad reception to Ironheart that it was going to get removed from Disney Plus, and I was like, that's fake. Shut up. But it's just like and apparently we found out from a book that someone released who used to work on the Acolyte that despite the Acolyte ending up on the Nielsen list multiple times, Marvel's heads, the executives, they're listening to the content creators. They're listening to the grifters on YouTube say the shit's bad, so they're turning heel because they don't understand how content creation works and how mobilization of fan bases work. So it very much worries me that that's why I have trouble believing in what you're pitching, because it's not that I don't believe in the Russos. I want to believe in the Russos like I believe in Joe Hendry. I want to believe in that, but
I believe in Joe
yes.
Hendry.
But it's like I see everything around it. It's like I see this little hope egg.
Yeah.
I see the little hope egg, and I'm like, I love that. I love what you're pitching. But then there's this massive demons around your hope egg, and I'm just like, ah.
And I do hear that, and as the least melanated person in this conversation, I understand the point of privilege that I have when discussing these things. But I would just like to point out that again, same directors are the ones who gave him the shield in the first place.
Fair.
Same guys are the ones who said, "Fuck all of you. This is Captain America now." They didn't have to get rid of Steve at the end like that. Or if they did, they could have given the shield to Bucky. Let's be honest,
True.
most people thought that's how it was going to go.
Yeah.
They decided this is the route we're going to go, and I find it challenging to believe that they would be that bold and then chicken out at the end. But I'd also like to make one last point, and this is kind of a mic drop moment.
Okay,
it's probably not as deep as I think it is. But Spider-Man No Way Home. Did Tobey Maguire being in that movie undercut Tom Holland? Did Andrew Garfield being in that movie undercut Tom Holland? No. In fact, their presence elevated Tom Holland because the director took their characters, took the lessons of the past, and used it to have them elevate Tom Holland, teach him new things, make him a better Spider-Man, make him a better character, and then when the lesson was learned, they fucked off back to their universe.
See, it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because you're the second person to say that I saw. Who was the other goofy one that said it? It was Soups. Soups goofy ass said it. Soups goofy ass said it. And it irritated the crap out of me because I believe it when you say it. I understand where you're coming from when you say it. But Soups had the goal, and he even added another layer to it that irritated me. He tried to say Peter B. Parker coming back to teach Miles in Spider-Verse in the first one didn't undercut Miles. The difference is we understand, like in Miles' case, it was his first movie. He was like, rather than doing the Ultimate Fallout route from the comics and having all the Ultimates train Miles, they had another version of Peter come in similar to Spider-Man and teach him, which that's mentorship. That's different. When it came to the situation with No Way Home, that was, hey yo, shit's hit the fan. The narrative structure says you need an Uncle Ben-esque talk from two of your other versions of yourself and then a cool team up. The difference is, in Tom Holland's case, man's had mentor on mentor on mentor on mentor, and his journey makes sense despite me not really liking the whole Tony Stark thing. I've learned to live with it. I've learned to live with that. But like, he's had a progression of having other mentors and whatnot, and that final big mentorship moment before they reset him makes sense. Here, if Sam's first movie would have been a banger, no Red Hulk, Serpent Society plot, cool thing, fine. I would be willing to believe in that pitch. You can come to my door as a Jehovah's Witness, and we can have a talk. But the issue that I have is that Sam's going in here. Yes, people believe in him, and have seen what he can do, but there's already the contention of people who are like, well, I'd rather watch the Thunderbolts than watch the random ragtag team of people that Sam puts together. Like, because what do we have? We have Letitia Wright, we have Simu Liu, and we have Sam, and we have his Falcon, and that's it. Because we have, like, Brie Larson isn't on any of the posters. I still am mad about that because The Marvels was a good movie. People just had high expectations for no reason. They expected it to be another like giant blockbuster thing when it was just a good popcorn flick that was another chapter of a comic book. Yeah, very fun.
I loved it. It literally felt like you picked up a comic book and went to the movies to go watch it. That's what you're supposed to get from these movies.
Yes, but it's just like, I feel like more people, based off the tear the poster, New Avengers, and they see everybody but White and one token, they're more accepting of that version of the Avengers than the SJW woke Marvel they saw coming in with less white people than like what we saw, like what they see now with the Thunderbolts. And it's the optics. The optics drive home so much for me, where I'm just like, I want to believe in the Russos, but damn, does this look grim. And it sucks.
But also, so the other point that I want to make, and again, I am well aware of the mayonnaise color of my skin before I continue this point, but with the Avengers movies, right, it's almost like they are, the Avengers movies themselves are almost like their own arcing story. Like Avengers 1, 2, and 3 were the Infinity Saga, and everything in the middle was just kind of puzzle pieces to get you there, right?
Right.
But
Mhm.
this movie kind of continues that because at the end of Endgame, it's very likely Steve did not fully put the universe back together properly, and that's probably why we're getting some of the events we're getting. Again, this was supposed to be flushed out in the Kang movie.
Right.
It's probably getting flushed out in this movie. So the point that I'm kind of making here is that to not include Steve at all would almost feel like a cop out. It would almost feel like and listen, I hate this argument as much as anyone,
Mm.
but I have seen a lot of and I'm sure you've seen the same argument
Yeah.
of like, oh, well, don't shove that down my throat kind of thing. Like, oh, I'm okay with X group of people, just don't shove it down my throat when
Right.
it's just them literally existing, right?
Mm.
But it almost feels like if they were to ignore Steve Rogers being in the story, because he's not dead, he's
Mm.
in the past, he did all the time travel stuff, he put the stones back, and then this movie is most likely going to address that because like the TVA even kind of addressed that and the Loki show kind of addressed that, but there's still a lot of open-ended questions, and if they don't answer those questions, if they just ignore that Steve exists, it might come off as, oh, Marvel really wants to shove Sam down our throats, so they're pretending like Steve doesn't exist. So they
Mm.
almost have to acknowledge that Steve is there. And this may be their opportunity to fully close that chapter and be like, okay, we did leave a lot of questions open with Steve Rogers. We do need to address those things. We're going to address those things, and then we're done with it. Because Chris Evans, again, Chris Evans is done with this universe. Whatever brought him back for this movie, it was either a really big paycheck
Yeah.
or a really good story that he believed in, that he was willing to come back and do this thing that he was fully ready to walk away from, right? So
Right.
I just it almost feels like it would be counterintuitive if they were to do all this, put Sam in the forefront, make him Captain America, and then have people walking away from it going like, so we're just going to ignore that Steve even exists. But
Mm.
at least this way, by acknowledging that he's there, including him in the story in some way, and then hopefully putting Sam in front of him, it can finally close the door on this. And if people still say hashtag not my cap, I don't fuck them. I don't know. Like at this point,
Honestly,
Okay.
Marvel has made their stance
it's
very
really
clear.
what it is at that day because we're always gonna get those hashtag not my cat people because people can't just enjoy stuff for what it is sometimes,
Yeah.
And that's also
Bigot's
the
gonna
other
bigot,
premise.
you know?
Yep, exactly. And that's also the other premise too, is to where like you, I do have hope that they're gonna try to do something good with this. I'm not always going to be the one that's like all hell's breaking loose. This is the worst thing that's happened to the black community because we're not getting our like actual scenage and everything like that. Because in all honesty, we never really get the actual scenage. We've seen it for the past few years when it comes
We're
down
almost to
to
1,000
Cap.
days. We're almost to 1,000
Yeah, I
days.
was, I was gonna
I
say, what are we
know.
at right now with
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
mainline black characters? It's
And so
fucking crazy.
when it comes down to that, it's not like when I go see this movie, I'm going to be disappointed because I know they're going to try their best in this. The thing that I know that's going to most likely end up happening is we're going to get I'm going to say a B quality movie, most likely, with how Marvel's track record's running. And then after that, you're going to get everybody getting on Twitter talking about their reactions about the most outrageous thing that happened in this movie. When, in all honesty, I'm thinking it's probably going to end up being closer to like a Captain Marvel, or not a Captain Marvel's, the Marvels kind of thing, or even the Fantastic Four, because both of those were solidly good
Very much
movies.
so.
It's just not going to be the blockbuster that you're expecting for Endgame, which
Right.
everybody needs to temper down that like we need Endgame because we're not going to get it until we get our 20-year build up again.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
I,
I like that. Yeah.
I have another tinfoil hat for
Okay.
another reason that again this is a weak argument because it's all based on conspiracy theory, but based on the way that Thunderbolts ended, I think we're building up to Civil War 2. And I
Ah.
think it's going to be the two versions of the Avengers facing off. And I don't think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be very terrible. But
Yes.
for that story to play out, Sam has to still be Captain America
See.
because right now it's Sam
Yes.
versus Bucky, and they're setting up that like the scene in Brave New World where Bucky shows up and it's like they're bros, but they have kind of an unspoken beef, and then
Mm.
the movie ends with them both heading their own Avengers teams. That it's like I think they're building up to a Sam and Bucky face off in the same way they built up to a Steve and Tony face off. And again, I'm not saying it's going to be good, But if that is the route they're going and they are putting the breadcrumbs towards it, they can't undercut Sam because then
Right.
they would be once again scrapping a story that they're building up to. Which, to be
Yeah.
fair, kind of track record these days that could happen.
You make a really good point because like it would perfectly line up because you would have part one, part two, Secret Wars happens the way it's supposed to, and then we're right back in 2016 where Civil War 2 was about to launch. So I hate that you're kind of right. At least Carol's not near here because dear the damage that Civil War 2 did to Carol will be like forgot. Oh dear lord.
Although what I desperately want, if we do get a Civil War 2, what I want more than anything, because I'm so tired of this debate, I want Thor and Captain Marvel to finally throw hands. Because ever since Captain Marvel came out, that debate has been going strong as to which of those two would win in a fight. And then you had that What If show, which I can't stand that show. And there was the episode with Party Thor, and
Mm,
Party Thor fights Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, and it's just the most ridiculous, like off-scaled fight I've ever seen.
mm.
And I'm just like, this is just put it in the movies. Just have the
Right.
two of them throw hands, even if just for like a quick scene. I need to see those two punch each other really hard.
Fair enough. Like
So
I would say
hey,
though, like I love the scene in Endgame, and I hate like that moment where he just calls up Stormbreaker and like that I
Doesn't
like this
flinch.
one. You know, a
Yeah,
fight with those two would be for the ages. Like that
would be
would be
awesome.
a banger.
Yeah,
But
and
Carol's
that's
gonna
the
win.
thing is that's always been
that's what I was gonna say.
the Thor conundrum, and honestly the Captain Marvel conundrum, and it's why like you look at Endgame and she is very conveniently absent from both Infinity Wars and Endgame until she's not, because characters like her are just too powerful, especially in the MCU where it's like I like Spider-Man, they have not really shown a whole lot of feats for him in the
Mm-hmm.
MCU. Captain America, even the Steve Rogers version, he throws a shield really good. Miss Marvel can just like zip through planets like they're not even, or Captain Marvel can zip through planets like they're not even there. So when you include her and to an extent Thor in his prime form in these fights, they are the juggernauts. They are the, put me up against the strongest enemy in the background where you can't see me because the CGI is too expensive. So you put the two of them together. I want to see that. I want to see that.
Well, like, and what's so wild about what you just said there is that, like, if I feel like I kind of am sad that James Gunn never got to do a Captain Marvel movie because I want to see more people understand a Superman level character like Gunn did because you need someone to come in like a Kelly Sudaconic, like Kelly Thompson, someone to come in and see Carol for what she is. Carol can be one of the greatest forces in the Marvel universe, but I think Brie Larson got a raw deal. I feel like she got
Yep.
did dirty, and she doesn't want to come back. And all they needed to do was give her a great director and a great story to drive it all home. And there was like little bits of it in the Marvels, but I feel like they were juggling so many pots, trying to be like, oh, we gotta do right by Monica, right by Kamala, and then right by Carol. And it's like you did a great job, but Carol needed like one more movie. Carol needs like one more movie to show that she could still be a human and not be this enigma, this warrior, this like destroyer that ruined the Kree Empire. Like she needs another movie to show that she can be human, exist on Earth, and not just live in her spaceship and be called down to fix the problem. I feel like she needs that.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. And something else that, like, to tack on to, that was one thing that disappointed me in, like, the most current Thor movie is because we had that setup of the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor. And I thought we
Mm.
were going to be able to see at least 30 minutes, 45 minutes of them traveling together through space, being able to see some of those, like, beautiful cinematic shots that we got from the Guardian of the Galaxy. And then it was just, nope, shoving him off in his own movie, which I respect. I love the Thor
Yeah.
movies. I really do. But it's still Marvel has this thing to where they don't want to do crossovers with their movies unless it has to do something for like the Captain America stuff we were talking about. You
Yeah.
know, they don't ever really want to pull crossovers that much, it feels. We've gotten
It's because it costs
two.
money, B. Do you know how much money we're
Well,
throwing into the fire right
Yeah,
now?
and I'm talking about Disney. Disney has more
and
money than I'm
honestly,
going to see in my lifetime.
as an old head comic fan, uh, one thing I'm not a big fan of the big universe encompassing crossover events because what they end up doing, like, I'm sorry, but when you put Green Arrow and Superman in the same conflict, you have to do some narrative gymnastics to make Green Arrow relevant because he's a dude with a bow and arrow. I don't care how cool he is. He's a dude with a bow and arrow, and Superman can throw planets like they're baseballs.
I mean,
So when
Superman
you
did
have
rip
the
off his
two of
arm in
them,
Dark Knight Returns, so it makes sense, yeah.
yeah. So like when you have the two of them in the same event, in the same universe, you get those narrative gymnastics. And the same thing kind of happens in the movies is that, like, yes, would a Thor Guardians of the Galaxy movie be awesome? For sure. But what is Rocket Raccoon bringing to the table when Stormbreaker Thor is there? There's no villain that the rest of the Guardians can even make flinch. Otherwise, Thor's killing them in one hit. Like even the golden dude, I forget his name.
Warlock, Adam Warlock.
Yeah, Adam Warlock. He's one of my favorite things about that movie, ironically, even though I couldn't remember his name. He's one of my favorite things in that movie. But what makes him such a driving force in that movie is that he's the unstoppable force because they're all too weak to stop him. Put Thor in that story, and that character's relevance goes right out the window because anytime he tries to give the Guardians guff, Stormbreaker right to his head, problem solved, get this guy out of here. Or the two of them are having their little CGI fight off in the distance, and he's not actually posing a threat to the Guardians.
Well,
and
like,
I think,
yeah, and it's very similar to the Thor respects Vision thing because Adam Warlock is like a cosmic deity in a lot of ways. Where like when the writing like the writing allows it, Adam Warlock isn't just a healer in Marvel Rivals. Brother can rip the whole universe in half if he wants to.
yeah,
So
yeah,
those two like together, it's like Superman and Ultraman back and forth here. We don't need to see that. It's like
right,
you get one big powerful being for a little bit, and then we pull it away for a little bit. That's why like Carol and Thor are always seen together in Endgame and Infinity War because that's a lot of power in one pot. Maybe we need to back off the spice of the Cajun dish a little bit, and like the way people can actually eat their food, if that makes sense.
yeah. No, I get it, and it's it's again the problem with Hulk, the problem with Thor. Like that's why to me, like some of my favorite stories and some of my favorite movies are the ones where you don't get these mixed match power up crossovers. Like one of my favorite movies in the MCU is Captain America: The Winter Soldier
Yes.
because it's just a bunch of dudes that can punch pretty well dealing with each other.
Yeah.
You throw the Hulk into that movie, ironically, which they did with Sam Wilson. You throw Thor into that movie. You throw any of these like super beings into the movie, or like Vision or anybody, then it completely changes the style of writing because the threat is now deal withable, like addressable. Like
Yeah.
if the Winter Soldier's giving us guff and Thor's there, Thor could just grab him by the forehead and say, "Stop it, or I'll throw you into space." Like it changes the threat. So
Yeah.
I can see why they wrote Thor out of that movie. I just think like I really hate the way they did it. Just like him having his little Zen moment, and because I feel like Thor. And this is a whole side tangent.
Well, you're
I
fine.
won't go too deep.
We do this all the time. It's fine.
Yep.
Thor,
Yep.
to me, Thor has one of the best written arcs from his first movie all the way through Endgame, and then that arc is immediately crapped on every appearance he has after that. Because
Yep.
his story is the story of a man who believes himself to be unstoppable, experiences an incredible amount of loss, but all along the way, every time he loses something, you look at every single Thor movie, he loses someone, but they win in the end. Thor 1, he loses Loki, but they won. Thor 2, he loses his mother and Loki again, but he beats the Dark Elves. He wins. And then all of the Avengers movies, something bad happens, but they end up winning. And then you have Infinity Wars, where he loses again. He loses Heimdall. He loses his brother, and he finally loses.
Yeah.
The conclusion of the film is not him winning, so he has to actually, for once in his life, sit back and address his losses because he's not standing from a place of victory. And then that's how you get Fat Thor, who, you know, is dealing with all the trauma that he's dealt with throughout the entire MCU. And then him being able to beat Thanos, it's like, okay, he can finally there's reason for all of his trauma. There's reason for his cause. It's very much like a PTSD story that a lot of people let it go right over their head because LOL Fat Thor drinks beer.
Yeah.
And then you get
Yep,
him
yep.
every movie after that, and it's like none of that happened. It's like none of his character arc happened. And then Thor, Love and Thunder is just one of the biggest character assassinations in the history of the.
Yeah.
I can
I
get into
hate that.
that. Yeah.
I
Like,
told the
yeah,
hammer
sorry,
to
I didn't mean to go
protect
on a whole forward.
Jade. I was drunk. Like that movie frustrates me for Jade. That movie frustrates me for Thor. That movie frustrates me for Valkyrie. Like I don't know what happened to what's his face when he was writing that movie,
Like,
but uh I want to
That was the
know.
thing is to where the I love to go to my movies and I love my comic books for like plot premises and for story arcs and for building like that. And the only thing for that Thor movie when I ever walked out was it reminded me of the comics. That was the best way that I
Yeah.
could phrase it. Is that the cinematics were really good. I remember seeing
sure.
scenes where it's like this was that was that, but that's not the only thing we look for when we go to a comic book movie because that's only half the stuff from the movie. We're still looking
Yeah.
for these plots. We're still looking for these character developments. If that's not there, these movies are going to lack so much. And like as much as you can throw in two goats and everything into the movie that are going to be screaming straight from the comics, that's not going to pull everybody in to come watch this movie and say it's a good
Yeah.
movie.
That movie also creates a giant plot hole for Endgame because if Thor can imbue a group of children with his power, why didn't he just imbue the entire Wakandan army with Thor powers in Endgame and then they just
Yeah.
steamroll right over Thanos? Or just give like some of the human characters your powers. Like, why did
Yeah.
Steve have to pick up the hammer? Why couldn't you just go? Why couldn't he imbue the shield with his power and be like, "You are now Cap Thor"? Like, why did that have to be a thing? And then later he could just do it with these children. It's like, I don't
Mhm.
know. It creates a little bit of a plot hole in my
No,
opinion.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it's very interesting, but no, like we'll definitely have to see what happens. I wanna believe in the Russos, but damn, does the internet suck? That's where I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I like I said in my TikTok, man, I'll put my money where my mouth is and I'll eat my foot. If I end up being wrong and the Russos let me down, right now there's somebody who commented a picture of a Beyblade. I'm gonna owe them $100 because it's gotten like 30 likes. Basically, I said I'd give $100 to the most liked comment on that video because I'm so confident. I'm so confident they're not gonna do my boy Sam dirty. Like
Okay.
Well,
I
I
know,
got my
I know,
fingers crossed for you. You gave me a little
Brave
bit
New
of
World
hope
sucked.
throughout this
I can't.
podcast.
Brave New World sucked. I can't deny that. It was not the movie it should have been.
See, like I
But
wanted to comment and be like, if like I wanted to be like, if you're wrong, I want Sam's first appearance. But I was like, I don't think I get enough likes, so I'm not gonna do it. I was like, damn, I'm not. It's not gonna happen. But a Beyblade sounds kind of funny though. I will give you that.
yeah,
In terms of like next week's books, you would think for Christmas, the publishers would have went a little light, but there are a lot of bangers coming out this coming week at your local comic book store. We have Absolute Wonder Woman where she meets Absolute Batman. You have
Yes,
I
finally.
see that.
you have Absolute Superman fighting Ra's al Ghul. You have like Absolute Martian Manhunter. You have Etrigan versus Lex Luthor, which is gonna be funny as all hell. I tried to figure out how that's gonna go. Flash versus like Jay Garrick Flash versus Guy Gardner. I I want Guy Gardner to, like I want Guy Gardner to get his ass kicked, but I know it's not gonna happen. Red Hood versus
Yeah,
the Joker. Why did Red Hood lose this? I want to understand. I want to understand DC. The final issue of Green Arrow is coming out. Make sure, folks, if you didn't if you were sad to the people who started the Change.org petition, my heart breaks for you. I'm sorry, but pre-orders are a motherfucker, and like we'll be having more talk soon with different comic book shops about that because a lot of people just don't understand that pre-orders control this medium like crazy. Then there's like a Immortal Legend Batman's coming out. Harley Quinn's 200th issue is coming out. So make sure that you peep that. Batman Static Beyond #2 book has been great so far. I'm excited for that. Skinbreaker #4. Skinbreaker is the craziest fucking project I have ever seen. If you are not reading Skinbreaker by Robert Kirkman and David Finch hand painted so much of this book and then scanned it in. And Robert Kirkman just said, "Take as long as you need. We'll publish it when you're done." And it's been so long of these two working on this project. If you're not reading Skinbreaker, you are missing out. I will say that right there from Image Comics. You are missing out. There's a few more X-Men tie-ins that are coming out to finish up the Age of Revelation. If you're reading that, sure, by all means do. Final Boss #2 is coming out. Final Boss from Image has been very solid. Make sure you peep that. Power Rangers Pride #13. We just interviewed Melissa Flores about that series. Peep that shit. It is so good. I'm so mad at y'all for letting it get canceled. I have a vendetta against y'all for letting that get canceled. What else was there? If you're reading Voyeur from Ignition Press, that's coming out. I believe that was all the highlights that I saw. B, did I miss any highlights for next week?
The only one
No
that I
Man's
can
Land
see
has
that I
a really
know.
cool. No Man's Land has a really cool PlayStation 1 variant cover.
Ooh.
I gotta be honest, not even reading No Man's Land. I saw that variant cover. I'm buying it just to put it on the wall.
Fair
It's
enough.
it's a banger cover.
Okay.
Hey, there we go.
Roots
I
of
know
Madness from
Astral.
the Stephanie Williams over at Ignition Press. That book
Yep.
is great. I love that book.
Oh, Spider-Man 94 issue 4, I think.
I believe so.
Is
Yeah,
coming out next week.
that's been
Yes,
interesting.
Yep.
I believe
Yep.
so.
Which I've been enjoying it. It's. I mean, it's a continuation of the Spider-Man cartoon. It's nothing like mind-blowing.
Right.
Heck yeah.
TMNT Battle Nexus. That's
Yes.
issue
Temporal
1's
number
coming out. I'm pretty excited
3
about that.
of the
Thundercats
Mad
is
King
coming out.
coming.
Like, I've been loving Thundercats
Yeah.
over at Dynamite. If you haven't been reading that, if you're like wanting some adult Thundercats, that like I missed the 2011 show. That was
The
great.
anime one.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good.
Like, you
There's
wouldn't think
a
Will
Spawn.
Ferrell would have made a great Lino, but damn.
Yeah.
And then Spawn
There's a Spawn
number
Christmas thing coming
370.
out too.
There's a Spawn Christmas? What?
Yeah, it's like Spawn versus Santa Claus or something. I don't remember.
What?
I'm a big Spawn guy, so I'm gonna pick it up. But yeah, it was something Christmas related.
I have to get that now because I've been like omnibus hunting for Spawn, so like I haven't been keeping up with the current ones. So now I saw Santa. I saw Santa a Spawn Universe Christmas story.
Yep.
Oh dear Lord!
I actually humble brag. I have every single issue of Spawn that has ever been published.
Damn, I'm jealous. I'm that's crazy.
When I was a teenager, I found at a yard sale. I got a box of it's like issues 1 through like 42 or something like that, and then just kind of started filling in the gaps and caught up to where I was, and then just have been collecting it ever since.
So you have a love
Heck
for Francesco
yeah.
Mattina covers as well, so you can explain to B how great Francesco Mattina is. Like, oh, so
Didn't
good.
someone in our Discord throw like one of those like art images in the DC?
I think
Was
so,
that
yeah.
Francisco? Yeah, I was looking at that one when he tagged you, and I was like, "Ooh,
It's so
all
good,
right,
bro.
I see you.
Mattina
I've been
is
sleeping."
iconic, bro. It's so good.
Yeah.
But no, Doggo, you're the guest man. What is your final statement for this episode? What do you want to leave the people with?
Oh Lord, don't pay your taxes. It's theft. Commit crimes. I almost said some things to get all of us canceled. Yeah, I don't know. I don't do good on the spot. I don't know. I got nothing.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you being here. I'm gonna say we'll have your stuff linked in the show notes, but we appreciate you for being here, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
B, what you
Definitely.
want to leave these
Before the
people with?
holidays. This is our holiday episode that's gonna be ending. So everybody, you guys have a wonderful Christmas. You guys have a wonderful. Well, we'll see you before New Year's, actually. So you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Check in with us before New Year's, and just spend it with family. Read some comics. Enjoy your money that you get. Enjoy the presents that you get. Or if you're not getting any presents or money, just enjoy the day off. Because I hope you have Christmas off. If you're working that day, then tell the bosses to go shove it.
Very much so.
Oh wait, I do have something.
Go for it.
If you're not reading Starship Godzilla, please, for the love of God, everyone buy this book. I can't let it get canceled. I'm enjoying it so much. And I know it's gonna get canceled. It's gonna get canceled right when it gets good. And it's basically think like Cowboy Bebop Guardians of the Galaxy, except they're riding inside of Mechagodzilla through space, hunting other kaiju
Oh
for
my
money.
god.
It's so good. It's so fun.
Who's
They're on
publishing
issue
this?
2 already. Um, it's great artwork, great characters. It's a woman-driven story. The main character is a woman. Um, it's amazing, and
Oh,
I
it's
know in my heart,
IDW. Oh, okay.
yeah, this thing's getting canceled on issue 10. I'm calling it now, but please, for the love of God, if you're listening to this episode, buy 56 copies from all of your local stores, please.
Well, it's at least
I,
going to February. We gotta see if it gets them when we'll have to keep an eye on IDW's like solicitations. But I'm intrigued. These
yeah,
covers are awesome.
it's honestly a fantastic little story. Obviously, it's only on issue 2, so like I'm hyping it up probably more than it deserves. But I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and the idea of like a Guardians of the Galaxy riding around inside Mechagodzilla through space doing bounty hunter missions, and like King Ghidorah just popped up in the last issue. It's tons of fun. It's such a fun story, and
Have you been reading
yeah,
the
I
Marvel
have a fan.
Godzilla stuff?
Yeah, I have. I have all the covers for Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe plus all the spin-offs. Um, it's okay. It's fun. I liked I liked when he crossed over with the Justice League a little better.
Mm,
I think there was a little more attention to the story versus Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe seems a little more campy and tongue in cheek, but
that's fair.
it's fun. It's Godzilla. I mean, he bitch slaps Thor into space. There's a really cool scene. There's a really cool scene where Magneto picks up Wolverine and spins him and shoots him like a bullet through Godzilla's chest. It's fun.
Oh
It's a lot of
wow.
fun.
Okay, I'll have to peep
Ooh,
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. I'm
Um,
also
yeah.
going to point out too, real quickly, that Starship Godzilla has nothing but 4.0s or higher for all the user reviews on League of Comic
Banger.
Geeks. So people jump on that.
hop on that. All right,
Yeah.
cool. For
Sorry,
me,
I hijacked
oh
the
no, you're good. Don't
conclusion
worry
of
about
the
it.
episode.
For me, Christmas time and this holiday season is rough on people's mental, y'all. Make sure that you drink some water. Make sure that you like clean up around the house if you need to. Don't let the depression pit rule you. Um, see your loved ones if you have loved ones. If not, like find a game, find a community. Make sure you're not alone during Christmas. It sucks. I'm about to say, like, mental is the hardest part of this year, and don't let it rock you. It can definitely be a battle. So find a good story, find a good game, do something to keep yourself occupied, and listen to your body. Don't let people like tell you like what you need. If you need to take a break from something, take a break. Don't be afraid to take a break and just step back from social media, whatever. Because the worst thing you could possibly do is crash out on some crazy ish during the holidays. It's not a good vibe. And you don't want to be in jail on Christmas. Not a fun time. But we will catch you folks next time right here at Comics Unmasked. Peace out.